right, I have AK-47 Askar Askar back on the show now, who's coming off a UD win at LFA 123 on February the 4th. Askar, how are you?
What's up, Brian? I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well. And, anytime you can get in there and get a win over a tough opponent, that's always a great thing, especially at this stage of your career. I know you're probably in there looking to get a finish and get him out of there before it went to the judges. How happy are you with your performance? Are you pleased or are you a little disappointed?
I mean, I'm pleased. I got the win. That's the most important thing, in fighting. But obviously, I'm disappointed in minor things. That I should have got the finish on this guy. I felt like I had a few moments in a fight where I would have been able to. But how it played out was how it was supposed to play out. So I'm just proud that I got the win, and I'm able to learn off a win.
Now, Ibromov, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He said they call him the Kraken, so we'll just go with that. The Kraken. What kind of challenges does he present, or did he bring to the table? Like as far as like stylistically, what kind of a fight were you expecting, and how do you feel you were able to combat like anything that he was throwing your way or his game plan in this fight?
I mean, I definitely feel like he upped his game from his last few fights. I was watching a few of his last fights, and he's obviously a combat sambo background and all that, and wrestling background coming from Kazakhstan. But he usually shoots off the bat. Uses his punches to set up the shot right away. But I feel like in the first round he came slugging a little bit. You know what I mean? And I love that. So it's like when that happens, I like to sit down too and just start slugging back. And I'll give it to him. There was one punch in the first round where he was able to catch me and kind of wobble me a little bit, rock me off my feet. And then that's when he shot. But even when he did shoot, he was holding me down. He wasn't like creating damage or anything. He was using all his strength just to keep me down, So I was just biding my time, and I knew it was either he was going to let go and I was going to pop back up, or he was going to waste all his energy, hold me down. And I felt like he wasted a ton of energy holding me down in the first round. And by the time the second and the third came, I was still breathing right, and he was huffing and puffing, and I had to shake out his legs and his arms in his corner every single time in between rounds. And I saw that. So just that alone motivated me to push more and more.
Yes, sir. And you ended up getting the win. Now, this is for LFA, one of the biggest regional promotions in the country. And it was in Hammond, Indiana. I'm not sure if they've been there before, but just tell me what that was like and what the crowd and the energy was like in the arena.
Yeah, I think that was the first time LFA came to Hammond. But I think the last time they came to Hammond, it was when they were RFA, yeah, it was a good time. I fought there a couple times. Horseshoe feels like home, so it felt like just a regular fight night back in the day when I was coming up. So it felt like, just another night at the Horseshoe with my family and my friends being able to come. It was just a drives away. It's like a 10, 15-minute drive right from the borderline of Chicago. So it was the home court advantage was mine. But just now having this win streak with LFA, that's what I'm proud of now. I'm finally able to put fights together and try to ride back to the UFC.
Yes, sir. And, this makes it 2 wins in a row for you now. So can you just kind of put together, put into words what the significance of this win was? Because obviously, to get back to the UFC, that's the goal. So, you got to win each time that you're going out now. So just how important was this one?
I mean, it was, I needed this win. I knew I needed this win, to put myself where I need to be, to get back on track, and to hopefully be able to do the Contender Series in the summer when they're planning to film it. That was actually my goal. So when they presented that they had a fight night February 4th in Indiana, I thought it was perfect. Right, coming off of the fight I had in California, you know what I mean? I went right back into camp, got right back into the grind, had about 2 months to prepare. They let me know 2 months away from the fight. So it was nice to have like a full 8-week camp at Factory X and to be fully prepared for the weight cut and for the fight. And I felt like I came up on top, you know what I mean, in terms of, winning obviously, but the performance could have needed a little work. But that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take the next couple months and weeks to just dissect my game, sharpen up some things, and make sure I integrate the formula that Factor X has into my game a little bit more. And then hopefully the next fight I'll be able to showcase a little bit more and create even a bigger win streak, or it could be the Contender Series and I could ride right into the UFC.
So just to be clear, you're not under contract with LFA or any other promotion, right? Like you're a free agent to sign with. If any big fight pops up, you can take it, right?
I signed a 4-fight deal with them when they, when I had my UFC recall thing. So I signed a 4-fight deal, and I think I still got one more. But I mean, they're the feeder league to the big leagues. They would love to have me sign with any major organization. LFA has been honestly one of the best organizations I've ever fought for. Such nice people working there. The matchmakers are so cool. Ed Torres is one of the coolest, owners that you can meet. And I feel like they would want me to be, pushed into a bigger show. So they're just setting up a platform for that.
Yeah, man, I love it. Very well said. You got to tell me a little bit about this weight cut. I saw on your Instagram you were showing, your process through this weight cut to get down there. And I got to be honest, maybe from my perspective, it looked like hell, man. Like trying to be in those sauna suits and all of that. How easy of a weight cut was this one compared to previous ones?
Oh man, listen, it's always hell, especially when you have to cut weight, water weight. But I mean, it's honestly they're getting easier and easier in terms of the last few days because of the good camps I'm having. 8 weeks to prepare for a camp. I was on a diet, strict. You know what I mean? Getting my water intake, watching my weight. I started about I want to say 15 pounds away from the water cut. I was like 149. When fight week came Monday morning, I was like 149, 150, and what I like to do is I like to work it off. You know what I mean? I hate sitting in the sauna. I know some of these guys like go right off the bat, they sit in the sauna, but I feel like you're just in there cooking yourself, cooking your throat, cooking your inside. So I like to work it off. I run, bike, back and forth. And this time around, what I did was I was like, a few of the guys were actually messaging me, asking me what my process was, but I did bike, run, and then I would sit under towels, and just keep myself warm with the sauna suit. So then that way I wasn't breathing the heat of the sauna. So I'm like, I just kept doing that back and forth, doing that back and forth. The biggest difference is if you sit in the sauna for an hour, you'll probably cut 5 pounds. What I did was I took 6 hours and I cut 5 pounds. I took my sweet time. It was almost like I was at a spa day, but I couldn't drink any water, which kind of sucked. But I got it done, and it was funny because I remember I got it done, and there was an hour left in the weigh-in window because the weigh-in window was from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And they were calling me. They're like, "Are you on your way? You got to weigh in." I'm like, "I'm cruising the weigh-in." I'm like, usually I'm the first guy that's like, I got to get there at 11. I got to be the first one to weigh in, But I'm like, everybody does that. You're going to end up going there, and there's going to be a line. So I'm like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the time I got and just get there when I need to get there and weigh in. And I got there, and it was perfect, Weighed right in and then got to rehydrate and feel good.
That's awesome, man. You know what looks good to me are those sauna beds that you can lay in, and I don't know if they zip up or what, but your head's exposed, your head's out. Is that something that you've tried before?
Yes. I tried those when I went to the UFC. They had them there. They provide those for you. But man, it's like it's there's still a difference between creating heat from activity and just heating the environment around you. Your body knows. Your body knows it's like when you work. I feel like when I run or jog or like do a little bit of physical movement and then keep my body warm with the towels and the foil covering. I feel like your system isn't overheated. Yeah. But it's like when you sit in a sauna or a hot environment, you're just like you just feel like you're burning yourself. Maybe this was my 15th professional fight and my 23rd or 24th fight overall. So 23, 24 times cutting weight. And there's times I messed up where I sat in the sauna too long. Times where you know what I mean. Didn't sit in the sauna enough, but it's like at the end of the day, you find your own method. And I feel like for me, the more I work it off, the better,
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm following you there. All right. So it's a big sports weekend. I got to get a couple picks from you, my man. UFC 271, Izzy Whitaker for the middleweight title, that rematch, and then the Super Bowl, Rams and Bengals. So give me each pick. Who's going to win each of those?
Okay. So the Izzy and Whitaker, I want Whitaker. My heart says Whitaker, but man, I think Izzy's going to end up getting him. You know what I mean? Skill wise. So we'll see. I'm excited for that one. And then the football game, I don't know much about football, but my little brother turns up with football, and I always see him talking about the Rams. So I'm going to stand behind what I heard him say before, and I'm going to go back with the Rams.
Okay. What round does he get it done? Does this go the distance, or do you think he can finish him?
I think he's going to finish him again, but I don't think it's going to be early. I think it's going to be honestly 4th or 5th round finish. I think Whitaker's going to come with a different game plan. Maybe try to wrestle, but if he wrestles, at the end of the day, if you haven't been wrestling ever since you're a kid and you all of a sudden start wrestling in fights, it's like you're going to get gassed quick. But I still feel like Izzy has the range and the pop to be able to put him down. Maybe if it takes a little bit longer, So maybe a 4th or 5th round finish.
Okay. I really want Bobby Knuckles to win because I want to see a trilogy between these guys. That would be ideal.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be the ideal situation right there. All right, so you talked about going back to Factory X here after you got this win and fine tuning some things and just evolving and just being a better mixed martial artist your next time out. Tell me before we get out of here, when is the time frame? When is the perfect time frame? Is it this summer, or do you feel like you could be ready prior to this summer if the right opportunity presented itself?
Man, tell you the truth, I'm at this point where I don't want no late notice. You know what I mean? There's dudes coming up that started their pro career in 2018, 2017, 2019 that could take that late notice stuff. You know what I mean? I'm at the point where I'm like, I've been around and I'm fighting, and this is my life, and this is something I want to do for every day until the day I can't do it no more. So it's like, and I feel like I'm highly skilled enough to be able to get where I need to get. So I'm just gonna keep grinding, keep working. If they can want to give me my opportunity, like how I deserve it, because I took the late notice fight, and what happened. It wasn't in my control. So I feel like if they want to give me my opportunity where I have a camp to be able to showcase my skills and put on a performance and do it that way, that'd be great. If not, I'm just gonna keep grinding on the outside until they're willing to let me do that. But late 2 weeks, 1 week, no, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go back, level up a little bit. You know what I mean, and have a good camp for the next one.
Well, you have a ton of fighters that you're training with on a daily basis that are in the UFC or Bellator, the highest promotions in the world. Like, what are they telling you? They must be able to give you a pretty good idea as to where your skill level is at right now. Do they feel like you're ready to be back there? Like, what kind of feedback are you getting?
Yeah, I'm sure if you talk to my teammates, they'll tell you that they feel like I'm highly skilled enough. I'm able to compete. I got a good group of guys that I'm surrounded with over there at around 35 from 145, and I'm able to give them good rounds every day and then compete and do my thing. But at the end of the day, even with the UFC, it's like there's dudes in the UFC that aren't that highly skilled. It's all about opportunity meets chance meets this. So it's all about timing. Me personally, I just want to make sure that if I do get my opportunity, it's one of those where I don't have to cut weight on a week's notice or cut weight on 2 weeks' notice and be the huge underdog against this big favorite that had his opponent fall out a week before. It's like there's guys that do that, and I don't want to be one of those guys. I want to be just like, I don't know if it's a good comparison, but the Victor Henry kid, like he had a long camp for Barcelos. They let him know the fight got moved twice. Obviously, the first time it was kind of late notice, but it got moved. So he had an even longer camp, and he was able to go in there and take a guy out like Barcelos, and you know what I mean, change his life a little bit. So something like that would be nice.
Yeah, I love that analogy. Wow, what a fight that was. That was a barn burner
Yeah,
of a matchup too.
yeah,
All right,
crazy.
Askar, always great talking to you, my man. Again, AK-47, Askar gets the UD win at LFA 123. Before I get you out of here, man, tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
My man, thank you. You can follow me at AKMMA94 on TikTok or Instagram. Those are my two turn up spots. And then just shout out to everybody from Factory X. I can't thank those guys enough. Coach Mark, all the guys that gave me rounds this camp. Jonathan Martinez, Gus Gutierrez, Yusuf. All those guys, Clay, and my family for their support. My mom and dad are, they're devoted to me and my brothers fighting, and they support us fully. And yeah, and my brothers, shout out to them. My little brother Mota is actually fighting in a month, March 19th. So he'll start, getting the ball rolling and popping off.